Hi YouTube, my name is Ian and I am one half of the Unemployed Philosophers. For those of you who haven't watched our other videos, if you stumbled across our mini rants or our gameplay commentary videos, you should probably check those out. The other half is a guy named John who's going to be doing his own vlogs hopefully at some point. But we've discussed having a playlist for our own personal vlogs because he and I have our own thoughts and they're not always related to each other, and sometimes we just want to share cool stuff. So I thought I would make one because I recently started an internship as a summer storyteller for a library system, which is a really rewarding job, and I like it because I love English. I want to be a writer, and that's what I work towards. And it's really challenging because I'm not used to working with kids and I'm not used to being in charge of like 30 kids at a time, but it's okay. I've had some really good experiences so far. The first 2 weeks are basically just planning programs because the theme is on your mark, get set, read, and it's kind of hard to make up a bunch of games for kids and whatnot. But it's going pretty well. I spent a lot of time in the office just planning stuff and reading and trying to get good enough at Yu-Gi-Oh! To beat John because he's a master of it and it's really frustrating to play against, and I have yet to beat him. But I've been reading this book, I don't know if you can see that, Astral Projection and the Nature of Reality by John Magnus. And it's a really interesting read because I'm super interested in spirituality and how reality actually works, and so is John, but he's more empirical and he needs to see facts of it and whatnot. I believe that there's more simply on faith, even though I'm not your stereotypical like Christian. Simply because I think the world would be boring if this was all there is to it, even though we're still discovering new things every day. So while I was reading this book, I've been trying to follow my intuition a lot more because I do things because I need to do them and not because they make me happy. So while I was reading this book, I've always been into meditation and just things like that, and I've had some weird experiences which I can share if more people want to hear about them. But I'm sitting in the office with my coworker, and it's quiet, and I'm reading this book, and she and I are just sitting there, and I feel I need to meditate. So I close my eyes and just start taking some breaths and relax. I start to feel good. And then slowly it felt like my head was going back and then down, and I was becoming more aware of certain parts of my body without actually knowing why. Uh, Whenever I meditate, I sometimes get a tingling in my foot, and it usually starts with my toes and my feet. And I used to think that was like me being more aware of how energy is moving throughout my body. But the book states that that's your body's way of saying, hey, you're leaving your physical coil, you're moving out of your body, and that scares me because I don't want you to die, because my entire job is to make sure you don't die. So it was kind of a weird experience, but my attention, mental awareness, consciousness slowly began to focus on my foot, and then it moved to the back of my neck, and then back to my foot, and then to my head, and then my shoulders. And when I was at my shoulders, I would think about how basically the stress, because I carry most of my stress in my shoulders, was running down my body like I was soaking wet and dripping off me, and I began to feel better. And then when I got to my head, my ears felt like they were really plugged. So I imagined that I had to roll like a stone away from a door to let the energy flow better. And as I was doing that, I started to feel better and better, and my head started to clear. And then it felt like I was being pulled sideways out of my body, and I was sitting in a rolling chair. And it was a really weird experience because I felt really light and everything seemed to be glowing. And my eyes were closed, I think, but my coworker said that my eyes were kind of open, and she thought I was just zoning out. And as I felt like I was being pulled out of my body, I kept saying, it's okay to want this, like it's okay to want to experience an out-of-body experience, and all these weird things. And I got nervous because I felt like I was being sucked out this way. And I got nervous because I was worried about, like, am I just like rolling across the room, or is this like my spiritual body? What is this? And suddenly I was back in myself, and my coworker and I talked about it, and she said she didn't really notice anything. but it was just a really weird experience, and I kind of thought I'd share that because I'm sure more people than I have had astral experiences or meditation experiences, and I'd love to hear what people have to say. If you have any advice on leading a group of children, please help me because I am absolutely horrendous at it, and I'm so scared of having to reprimand other people's children. Like, that's not what I want to do. I mean, it's supposed to be fun, but there are some rowdy kids. I recently finished reading a collection of Lovecraftian stories, so I'm moving on to another one. And I'm almost done with astral projections, so that'll be fun because I'm moving into Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I already read it once, and I didn't really see all the hype. Like, I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it to the extent that the rest of the world seemed to. So I'm rereading it, hopefully, to see what I like more about it. Because I feel like I missed something. I was in school when I was finishing up my bachelor's, and I didn't feel like I gave it the amount of time it deserved. So this is my first vlog. I don't really know what else to say. I just felt like sharing my weird experience, and I'd love to hear about yours. Please leave a comment, check out our other videos. It means a lot that we have 4 subscribers and 75 views, and we've only had a channel for like 2 weeks. That's really cool. And thanks for watching.